Man, what a show, what a show. But all good things must come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, the most incredible, this is Hitman Cause for your official Extreme Rules review. And of course, I'm not alone in this endeavor. Please welcome one and all, once again, as always, the co-host, the humble man Gary. Welcome to the Contracts.
Yo, my man Cosplay, it was goody.
Yeah, you already know, man. Ready to get down to this?
Of course, man, the show is crazy, so why not? Let's do this shit.
Yes, sir. And they started it off the right way with the Brawling Brutes taking on Imperium. And yo, this match lived up to every last bit of hype I gave it. Oh my god, I absolutely love this match, start to finish, man. This was great.
Oh yes, it was crazy.
And there were times where both sides were running things, and it looked like the other side would not be able to come back. But man, you gotta love it.
Oh yeah, man, you do.
Personally, freaking, I loved the spot where in the closing moments of the match, this man Sheamus opened up a page of his playbook that he hadn't opened up in years, and I mean years, when he hit Gunther with the high cross through the table.
Oh yeah.
And despite what Michael Cole said, no, that is not the Celtic Cross. The Celtic Cross is Finlay's finisher, and that was white noise.
Yeah.
What Sheamus did, well, even though it's Razor's Edge, when he did it, it was called the High Cross. But yeah, put him through the table. That was it for Gunther, and I loved him getting hit with the 10 beats of the Bowden. But Imperium had some pretty crazy spots too, like when they hit the Imperium bomb. That was one thing. When they freaking when they were wailing on the Brawling Brutes with the shillelagh. As a matter of fact, I think and how Sheamus looked like he was gonna rectify what happened on SmackDown and get going to the tap, but then he got popped in the back with a shillelagh, and the shit broke like
Yeah.
like an MLB bat with a cork in it.
Exactly.
But even still, that shit was crazy, man. Oh my god, this was just wild, and I wouldn't be surprised if these guys got bruises or marks on them by the time by the time the show ended. And
yeah, exactly.
and honestly, I'm surprised nobody was bleeding even the slightest.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised too.
But, yeah. And personally, I didn't even think of this, but who knows? Maybe because of what happened on SmackDown, there's gonna be one last Intercontinental title match between Sheamus and Gunther. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so too.
Especially since the Brawling Brutes won this match.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was thinking that same thing you were thinking. I was like, there's gonna be a rematch between Sheamus and Gunther for the belt.
And
I think so.
yep. I absolutely love that that on 2 different times, freaking Imperium was at the mercy of the Brawling Brutes. Where at first Gunther was held down by by Ridge Holland and Butch, in which I think Sheamus popped him with a shillelagh. And then a different time, and then in the closing moments of the match, they held down Giovanni Vinci, so he got hit with the brogue kick, and that was the ball game. Absolutely wonderful match, man. They tore the house down and kicked off the show the right way.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm absolutely. Oh, I was so happy that this happened like this, man. This was great. I hyped up this match, and they did not disappoint.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy it didn't disappoint either.
Moving on. Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. This match was a little interesting. Liv did try to show a little bit of fight, but thankfully Ronda gave her the beats by Dre. But she did have I think two good spots, but other than that, freaking Ronda wasn't playing. She was taking it to her.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, it really was.
Well, but I will admit, what's his face? Her senton through the table was a nice spot. But it wasn't enough to finish off Ronda.
Oh yeah.
When Ronda used her own black belt to freaking whip the shit out of Liv, that was nice. And then she started beating the shit out of her with her own bat. That was even good too. I ain't see a swing. I haven't seen somebody swing that good since my boy Mike Trout.
Yeah, that was crazy. Honestly speaking, yeah, the way that was, I would have been you there, bro.
It might have been in Philly, but I was ready to light up the halo.
Word.
Then once it was all said and done, freaking Ronda tried to put her in an arm bar, but Liv kept trying to counter. But you know, Ronda used her expert technical prowess to change up the submissions, and then eventually choked her out.
Exactly.
And once again, and I hate, and I know people are gonna get mad at me for using this term, but it's how I feel. But the fairy tale is over, and Ronda Rousey is once again SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, I definitely look forward to seeing where this goes, especially since Ronda's heel. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I'm wondering if Liv will try and get the title back, or if she's gonna have a new opponent.
Oh yeah, I wonder that same thing. Yeah, me too. I wonder if it's gonna continue.
But yeah, moving on. Well, we had Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match.
Right.
Nah, this match wasn't too shabby. I'll admit, even though there wasn't any rules, I will admit I was getting annoyed with Scarlett constantly interfering. The biggest reason why I was getting annoyed was because I thought the whole premise of him facing Drew was to make him look stronger again. But with Scarlett constantly interfering, it was, in my opinion, it was making him look weak. Because pretty much every chance that McIntyre had to get the upper hand or going for the kill, Scarlett kept interfering.
Yeah, exactly.
And like for me, it just took away from any kind of credibility or strength that Karrion Kross had, and it made me feel that had Scarlett not have been there, he wouldn't have won.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause she either was doing something or stood in the way. I mean, personally, if this feud continues, Drew is gonna have to put his morals aside and put hands on her.
Yeah, that's right.
Like she's gonna have to get hit with a claymore or a Glasgow kiss or something.
Exactly.
Cause even Drew is gonna be getting fed up with her interfering in the match.
That's right.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't have let her get to the point where in the close zones match, she freaking sprayed him with mace. Like, I honestly would have took her out long before she even thought of doing that.
Right. Exactly.
But, you know, if this feud isn't over, then hopefully Drew does get his revenge on Kross. And if Scarlett does try to interfere, he puts hands on her.
Yeah, I doubt it's far from over, and I hope it continues. That way my boy Drew could get a win, honestly. I like Kross my boy as well, but my boy Drew, love my boy Drew, man. So I hope this continues so my boy Drew could get a win, honestly speaking.
Yeah. Well, and I honestly hope that on SmackDown, if Kross brags about winning, then Drew is gonna run his mouth, maybe saying that Scarlett is in control of the relationship or something like that, or like she wears the pants in the family or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is far from over, my man.
Yep. Anyways, moving on, we have Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's title against Bayley. Now, there was something that I didn't even know for the match. I thought this was only for that episode of Raw, but apparently that when it came to Alexa Bliss and Asuka, they were, I guess, storyline injured, and which is why they didn't appear during this match.
Oh yeah. I heard when they mentioned that earlier that they were injured. So I'm wondering, like, what? How the hell? I mean, I know Asuka's storyline injured of stuff, but Alexa as well. So yeah, I did hear that, but that kind of didn't really well, I don't know if I kind of really catch that, or did it catch me? I really don't know.
Yeah, you know, I honestly thought they were only selling the injuries for that night, and they were gonna still show up on Extreme Rules, but you know, it is what it is.
Right.
And I have to say, you know, once again, you know, people don't learn. These women do not learn. Do not touch Bianca's braid. And,
exactly.
And once again, they had to find out the hard way when Bianca was whipping Bayley with it once again. These people don't learn.
Exactly.
even still, there was still some great spots. Unfortunately, you know, the spots I said that I wanted to happen didn't happen, but I wasn't that disappointed because there was still some great spots nonetheless.
Correct.
Like for one thing, when 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 damage control interfered, even though it took a while, freaking Bianca Belair hit them both with the KOD at the same time. Now I'll admit it did take a little longer than I thought, than honestly it should have, but they weren't positioned correctly, which is why it took so long. So you know they you know had to do what it do.
Exactly.
You know
that's a fact.
They had to think on the fly. And then there was even a time where it looked like Bayley was gonna win because she put Bianca under the ladder. But this was a bad move because Bianca using her strength, and it's obvious that Bayley forgot about her strength, pushed up on the ladder to knock Bayley off of it, and then of course we get in the closing moments of the match where Bayley had her hands on one piece of the ladder, where Bianca still got her up, hit her with the KOD onto the ladder, and I think she might have busted her lip or something because there was blood coming from her mouth. But
yeah,
but
I noticed that too.
Yeah, but either way, it was still enough for Bayley to stay down and Bianca to retain the title, and the EST is still the champ.
Oh yeah.
And I know I said I would have been cool with either one winning, but I was very satisfied. I was very happy with Bianca retaining.
Oh yeah, me too.
And honestly, I would love to hear what excuse Bayley comes up with, because she had the advantage. Damage control came down, but it wasn't enough.
Exactly.
Oh, and also I forgot to mention, in the match with Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan, Liv did a really bad botch. I know what she was going for, trying to catapult Ronda into the turnbuckle, but that was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Like you know what spot I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where like she tried to, she had hold of Ronda's arms and tried to push her into the into the turnbuckle, but the first time she lost her grip, and then the second time it was executed horribly.
Right.
And then also I forgot to mention when she was hitting Ronda with the chair shots. Those had to be some of the worst chair shots I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like honestly, I ain't never seen a chair shot that bad since that one clip I saw of Hulk Hogan hitting, I think, Conan with a steel chair in WCW.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's pretty.
but like if you don't freaking hit the chair, I know you know you ain't supposed to hit them too hard, but like at least make it look realistic. You throwing baby shots at them.
That's right.
But yeah, moving on. Finn Balor facing Edge in an I Quit match. I was I was pretty iffy about this match. I honestly didn't know what course of action it was gonna take. you know, how it was gonna pan out, you know.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, like I expected, the Judgment Day did interfere, but it got interesting the way they interfered. Because it did look like Edge was gonna win because he speared he speared every member of the Judgment Day minus Rhea Ripley. And he speared Finn Balor multiple times. So, and then even Beth Phoenix came down, but this proved to be a slip up by Edge. But because he told Beth to get the chair, and obviously everyone knew where he was going with that. He was gonna, you know, take the bar from the chair and put Finn in that crossface with the bar. Only problem was Rhea Ripley got into the ring and popped Beth Phoenix in the back. And at first I was confused at how one shot knocked her out, but then, you know, I saw that she had the brass knucks. So yeah. And then of course after a few shots, I think with the chair, no, after a few coup de grace, Finn gave him one last chance to say I quit, to which he refused. So then he gave Edge an even bigger ultimatum, to which Rhea grabbed 2 chairs and then put one under Beth's head, and then had one, and then she held the other one high up in the air, and everyone knew she was going to hit a concerto, and then he gave Edge one last chance, and that was it. He finally said it. He said I quit. Finn Balor won. However, even though they won the match, Rhea still hit Beth with the concerto.
Oh yeah, exactly. That would oh man, I wonder how this rivalry gonna end between them.
I mean, honestly, now it's probably gonna be Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. And if not that, then who knows? Maybe this might be it for now. But yeah, Finn Balor won. The Judgment Day still thrives, and who knows where we go from here.
Oh yeah.
But I thought it was quite interesting when it came to Dominic and Edge, where he tried to plead to Edge, and even attempt to shake his hand, and he got a low blow for his troubles.
Right, exactly.
Edge wasn't gonna forgive, and he damn sure didn't forget. But yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Finally, we have the main event: Matt Riddle facing Seth Rollins in the fight pit, and with special guest referee, UFC Hall of Famer, the man DC Daniel Cormier.
Oh yeah.
And let's I gotta give a shot. I gotta give a shout out to Tacky, because for once he wasn't tacky.
Yeah, that actually shocked the hell out of me, honestly.
He did not dress tacky. Instead, he gave a shout out to Philly and ECW, dressing in an attire reminiscent of Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, man.
And it's funny because when he first came out, like, I immediately was getting RVD vibes from what he was wearing, but I couldn't make it out. But like, I was thinking, like, what he's wearing looks so familiar. Like, where have I seen that before? then once he pointed to himself with his thumbs, that's when it all came together. He was dressing as RVD, and he did everything. He had the plain black boots with his name on it, like how RVD does. He had his hair in a ponytail, everything, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's obviously he wasn't doing that to troll Matt Riddle. He was just doing it as a shout out to ECW in Philly.
Oh yeah, that is correct.
And needless to say, Tacky for once had an attire that looked pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, right, exactly.
Then, you know, getting down to the match itself. First off, both of these dudes should have knew not to fuck with Cormier. Cause I know Riddle hit him on accident, but even still, Riddle had even you know, Cormier wasn't, you know, playing favorites. And he got up in his face, told him, freaking fight your opponent, don't fight me. And then Rollins had the nerve to freaking push Cormier like an idiot, to which he got up in Rollins' face like, again, fight your opponent, don't fight me. And I know Riddle is a trained UFC fighter, but regardless, both of these dudes should know not to fuck with Cormier, because even though he's long retired and he might be a little out of shape, he still ain't the one to fuck with. Cause he will still give them both the beats by Dre, especially Rollins.
Right, exactly.
Cause Rollins can run around all he wants, but when it comes to actual fighting, he ain't measuring up to Cormier.
That's right.
But anyways, on to the match. Of course, you know, they brought everything they needed to bring to the table. I actually thought it was funny that Rollins tried to do submissions, which in my opinion was a very bad idea in the fight pit, considering that Riddle, you know, being as technically sound as he is, would be able to counter the submission into one of his own.
Exactly.
But there was still some nice spots from Rollins hitting the curb stomp, or actually no, better yet, freaking Rollins when he scaled the cage and then jumped off, hitting a frog splash, actually looking like RVD there. You know, whenever RVD hit the move while changing direction in midair.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Then Riddle, you know, had his moments from, you know, from you know, throwing Rollins against the cage, to the best one, hitting the Broton from the top of the pit. And I find it funny that what's his face, that Michael Cole kept getting confused whether to call it the floating bro or the Broton, when everyone knows it's the Broton, because the floating bro is when he does that twisting moonsault.
Exactly.
But
that's right.
And then, you know, everything came to an end when Rollins was trapped into a triangle choke-esque armbar. He tried to bash Riddle against the cage, but Riddle wouldn't let go, and he eventually tapped.
Oh yeah.
But and honestly, seeing as Seth lost, I really don't see it making any sense if Riddle interferes in the United States title match.
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, if he interferes again, then this is just going to continue the feud.
Exactly, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I think he's probably gonna interfere in the match.
I honestly hope he doesn't, because like I said, it wouldn't make sense, because he already won at he already won here. he just won here at Extreme Rules. But it is what it is. But
when I think about it,
yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, even though that match ended, that was still not the end of the night, because within the last few minutes, we were greeted by several figures. First off, the lights cut out, and then we heard an all too familiar song. And we were all reminded that he's got the whole world in his hands. The lights were out, but the fireflies came out to play. Then, you know, we saw the pig, we saw the buzzard, we saw Ramblin' Rabbit, we saw Abby the Witch, we even saw the Fiend, and then finally, through a door with a blinding light, came Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah.
And
correct. Oh yeah. Bray Wyatt back.
And honestly, I like how they waited till like the last second for Bray to actually come out.
Yep.
And honestly, in my opinion, what would have made it better, in my opinion, for Bray Wyatt, instead of him saying, "I'm here," he should have said, "I'm back."
Oh yeah. He beat you at that. He should have said that.
But like I said, you know, I definitely am gonna like to see where we go from here as far as Bray Wyatt goes. Personally, I think what might happen is that he's gonna challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title after he defeats Logan Paul, just for it to come full circle. Because if you remember, the Fiend was Universal Champion before, and he dropped it to Roman.
Oh yes.
So, if anybody's gonna take the title from him, it's got to be the one that lost it to him.
Yeah, you got a point.
But also, part of me, I
hope my boy started cut you off. My boy Roman still retains that shit though if he goes against Bray.
Yeah, I hope not, because like I said, it would come full circle. And I know people would laugh at this, but I still wanted Baron Corbin to take the title from him, even though it wouldn't make sense because they're both heels, but still. Only reason why I wanted to is because people, there's a good amount of people that still don't know this, but everybody always wondered who was the last person to pin Roman Reigns before he went on this title run, and the answer was Baron Corbin. He was the last person to pin Roman Reigns.
Right.
But of course, honestly, I really don't see Corbin challenging for the title, especially since he's been off TV for almost over a month now, after he left in the limo with JBL.
Right.
And you know, my boy Post 90, shout out to him. Y'all check out his channel. He questioned me where they've been, and I told him details, man, details. You know, all will be answered in due time, man. Just details, bro, detail. Yeah, you know, and hopefully, or more than likely, we will get a very satisfying payoff. At least I hope so. But yeah, but before we get even more off topic, I will say there was interesting backstage segments with the Miz and the Philadelphia Flyers mascot Gritty.
All right.
Yeah. And of course, all the segments eventually ended with him. Well, with Miz first off unfairly beating the crap out of Gritty, when all Gritty was trying to do was honestly do his job. But of course, Dexter Loomis once again was behind him and put him to sleep. And then walked away with Gritty. But Gritty got a good shot in kicking Miz. But yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of The Contract. I definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and chill with your boy. I definitely want to thank the Humble Man as usual for coming through, kicking his wrestling knowledge.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. My man, Cos Payton. You already know. Of course, you know what it is. I'm always gonna be kicking my wrestling knowledge. Cue my boy.
Yep. And all of y'all keep it locked, because of course we're gonna be back here eventually for our predictions for Crown Jewel and the review. But we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. So until next time.
Oh my man, one you forgot. We'll be right back here with our predictions and our results for the pay-per-view before that, which will be Halloween Havoc.
When's that?
NXT in 2 weeks. We can say in a week now, October 22nd.
Ah, okay, yeah. What he said. I forgot about that. My fault. See that? The Humble Man's always on top of things.
Yes, sir.
But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Hitman and the Humble Man by way of Struggle Vision Productions, and we out.